Sybil's here.
You're live.
Hey, we're live and direct. Hi, everybody. What's going on? We're in the new chat room. The only downside of this is there is no, we're not connected to the app anymore. So if anybody's trying to get in on the app, they can't hear me. No, maybe they could hear me. So if you are listening on the app, go set your chat client to chat.podfeet.com now. So, okay. John says, I know they were talking about switching to a new chat server, but did not get info on it. Yeah, did I send out an email on that? I wonder if I didn't. That would have been a useful thing, huh?
Yeah, that would have been pretty helpful.
Did I put it in? No, I think I did in the NosillaCast news, didn't I? No? Didn't I?
Don't know.
Anybody get or what is it called? Podfeet Press now, I think it's called. All right, so all we have is Sybil and John. Wait a minute. We had, I'm in the wrong, hang on.
You're in the wrong chat room.
Oh, they're in the wrong chat room.
Oh, maybe I better go over there and tell them. Okay, let me let them know. You can deal with the show.
Nope, you're too slow. Room, hashtag NosillaCast. That's why it's so small. I'm sitting there going, where is everybody? All right, we've got Brett and Kevin and Denise and George is here, Dorothy and Rose and Sandy and Mark. Cheers. Tonight we're drinking a Pacifico with a little bit of lime. Thank you to Steve. Don't recall getting the details. Oh, that's funny. That's funny right there. All right, I am going to try to do a little test recording. Let's see what happens. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com. That's good enough. See if you can hear playback. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted.
That's perfect. I say that's a wrap. Just leave it as is.
What if I put the audio on? Since that's important. Okay, if anybody is listening on the app, and I just went live on NosillaCast, which I think the only thing that drives now is the app, the chat room in the app is not going to be functional anymore until we can get Donald Burr's attention. We've moved the chat room to chat.podfeet.com, and we don't have a way of changing the app, I'm afraid. So if you want to use a third-party client, or go to podfeet.com/live, and you can chat in a little window there. All right. Did we get John and Sybil in yet?
Not to the new chat room yet. I don't see him moving yet either.
Let's see. John just asked again. Chat.podfeet.com. Oh, I was going to make a joke and say don't tell Sybil, but it looks like Sybil already found it. No, she didn't find it yet. All right. So you heard playback?
I did.
Good. We should start the show then. It's very exciting. Hang on.
Oh, look what Podfeet has in her little hands.
My little baby hands. My iPhone 7 Plus.
It looks so big.
This is my Watch Series 2. Check out this band, Sandy. I love it. Sandy and I are just little band whores. I probably can't say that out loud. We're fanatics. We like bands, but look how pretty it is. It's kind of like a gray, and the edge is actually kind of beige, which sounds like it would look really ugly with gray, but it doesn't. I'm really happy with it. Yeah, it's a nylon band. It's really comfortable. It is my new favorite band. I'm in love with it. So definitely very good. All right. Did John find his way over yet?
I don't see him or Sybil yet. I'm sure they'll get over here because they both got out of the old chat room.
Okay. That's a concern. All right.
They'll come back if they need help. I'll watch it.
Sorry, Sandy. Yeah, the band name is it's the middle, the third from the left when you look at all the watches at the same time in the ad on apple.com/watch. So I can get it after the show if we need to. All right, here we go. You muted, Steve?
Muting now.
Okay, here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Macintosh bias. Today is Sunday, September 18th, 2016, and this is show number 593. Well, this week I took delivery of an iPhone 7 Plus and the Apple Watch Series 2 Aluminum. I got to tell you, I've got some thoughts on the first few days with the iPhone 7 Plus, but I haven't had time to write up my experiences with the camera yet. I've taken a bunch of comparison photos between the 7 Plus and the 6, but I want to do a good job of analysis before talking about it. The same is true with the Series 2 watch. It's killing me, though. I really, really want to talk about them, but I don't want to do a bad job as much as I want to be first. Anyway, I'm not first anyway. Other people are talking about it, but you know what I mean. I do want to tell you one great anecdote, though. I finished off my first thoughts blog post about the iPhone 7 Plus, and I ran out the door with Tesla for a quick walk to the grocery store. On my way, I got a Telegram message on my watch from Mark Pauly. He said he'd found 2 typos in the blog post. You know how I like to be notified of that, so that was a good thing. When I got to the store, I quickly grabbed the 3 things I needed and I got in line. With only 2 people ahead of me in the express lane, I didn't have much time, but I whipped out my giant screen iPhone, logged into WordPress and Safari on podfeed.com, made the edits, hit save. Right then, the guy was ready for me to pay. I double tapped the side button on the Apple Watch, turned my wrist over, boom, paid with Apple Pay. I live in the future. It was awesome. I really, really had fun with that. So it really does work sometimes. Well, in this week's Chit Chat Across the Pond, Bart Buchatz takes us through Programming by Stealth installment 21, where we get into jQuery basics. This is another really easy lesson where he reviews some stuff we learned way back when about HTML and CSS, and then shows us how to use jQuery to search for elements on a web page. He shows us how to limit the search and filter the results. Then he shows us how to actually start changing the CSS with jQuery. It's such a fun lesson. I hope you go check it out over at podfeed.com. All right, IWTH, that's not with. So Sybil made it in? IWTH.
Yes, she did, and I'm talking with John over on the old chat.
Okay, is he having trouble?
A little bit.
All right, where is that typo? Wait, there it is. With. There you go. All right, and we need to go to redesigning Podfeed. Have you guys all, everybody in the chat room, have you guys, so Denise
ceramic phone, yes.
Ceramic phone, but not a ceramic price. I saw,
I'd like a black ceramic phone.
No,
or maybe a space gray or a piano gray, piano black.
Piano?
Piano
Did
black.
you actually say piano?
Piano, there's John.
Piano, John! Okay, now we can start. All right, so I got to get to the redesigning. Let's see, I don't need this. I think I want to quit that. I'm going to quit Telegram, Steve.
Please do.
So if you need me,
I will.
You know how to find me. All right, so we want, what do I want first? Wait a minute. Oh man, I forgot one of the blog posts. Hang on. I need to edit that. That is missing. We need this. And where am I? There. Should be the first one. 4 o'clock. All right. Hang on one moment, please. Just about done. Here, kitty, kitty. Kevin misses all the kitty stuff, right? He misses the kitty videos. Okay, copy that link address, close that, go over here. Oh. Command K. What happened?
Shy is here.
Shy, how are you doing, Shy? Let's see. Okay, it was done, but I forgot a post.
Did we go through the? Did you go through the list of people?
I did not, because maybe. I was confused when I did. Oh no, I did go through the list, and all I said was, "Wait a minute, there's only Sybil and John." A little short. All right, we have Brett and Kevin and Sybil and Denise and Haley's here. That means she doesn't feel well, but that means we get her company, so that's fun. And George and I did do this, and Dorothy and Rose and Sandy and Shy and Mark did do this, but it was before.
But now we have a few more, so
there you
it doesn't
go.
hurt to do it again.
Wait, you said John was in here. He's not in there.
He was. Did he get popped out? He got popped out. Shoot.
All right, go take care. Go take care of him. All right. File save as. Why is that always in the wrong folder? I should probably look into that. What are you doing? Moving your mic?
Oh, mute time.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right, here we go. Sunday night during the live show, we noticed a big problem with the page for the live show, podfeed.com/live. It wasn't showing all of the elements of the page. At the top, when it's working properly, you should see a clock that tells you what time it is at my house. It's not that I'm a narcissist. It's there because I do the live show at 5 p.m. where I am. So if you go to the page and it's not live when you think it should be, you can look at the clock in your time zone and it'll tell you whether it's 5 o'clock where I live. Also not showing was the live video from YouTube, which is essentially the whole point of the live show. I was alerted to the missing elements first by Steve, but I assumed it was a problem on his computer. But then the live chat room confirmed that both the clock and the video were missing. I figured out what the problem was fairly quickly. Bart and I had worked just a few weeks back to get podfeed.com set up as a secure website, buying a certificate and enabling it through my web host. Right before the live show, I edited the .htaccess page for my web server to give it a permanent 301 redirect. That tells that all of the websites in the world, anybody who links to me, anytime somebody requests HTTP, it's routed over to HTTPS. By doing a permanent redirect, that means any service like iTunes, for example, would look at it and say, oh, let me permanently change that so it wouldn't have to keep getting that redirect. Well, the reason that affected the live show page is because the two elements in question, the clock and the live video, are both embedded HTTP links. In the old days, a browser would put a giant pop-up on screen to tell you that there were insecure elements on the page. But people just always said yes and went on their merry way. Instead, now browsers simply block insecure content on secure pages. Makes a bit more sense, right? Now, of course, there's nothing on podfeed.com that really requires security because you're never putting in your bank account information or anything like that on my website. In fact, other than writing text comments, you're not entering any content at all. However, it is a bit alarming, say in Chrome, when you notice the red X in the URL bar saying danger, insecure content. The good news is that the video is pretty easy to fix. Every week, Steve copies the embed link from the Hangout on Air into the live show page at podfeed.com/live, if I haven't mentioned it enough times. So now he needs to remember to put an S on the end of the HTTP. And that's not a process fraught with danger at all, is it? I hope someone reads or hears this and remembers it for me, just in case Steve is out of town at some point and I have to do it. The clock is a bit more problematic, though, because adding the S doesn't fix it. Bart rubbed his hands together with delight when he saw this, though. He said he's been searching for the right project for us to do to program in Programming by Stealth, and he says this would be the perfect thing for us to build. I'm super excited. I have no clue how we'll even start, but I'm, of course, looking forward to it. Alrighty. I miss anything?
A lot of jabbering.
Jibber jabber. All right. Haley wants to know if she's in the right place. I don't know.
I thought you did say Haley's name.
I did.
She says you didn't.
Wait. When Allison did roll call, she didn't say me. Yes, I did, Haley.
Play it back. Play it back.
I didn't record it. It's on the video, though. No, I said if Haley's here, that means she's not feeling well, but we get the benefit of her attendance.
I did remember that.
Didn't I say that?
Yep.
Unjustly accused. The first time I said roll call, you weren't here, and I did. Steve made me do roll call again because he didn't listen, and now it's the third time. So yeah, you were here. I wouldn't forget you. All right. What do we want next? Okay, so that is that. Redesigningpodfeed.com. Oh, have you guys, this is the poll results. This is the poll I'm going to be talking about. The actual poll is, I don't even know where that is. That's right. I'm just going to read it from here. Here we go. I've been thinking about redesigning podfeed.com for a really long time. It was a cool theme when I built it about 126 years ago, but it's really kind of showing its age. I think we've kind of outgrown it with separate NosillaCast and Chit Chat Across the Pond shows, special series like Taming the Terminal and Programming by Stealth. We've got all the tutorials and, of course, links to cool stuff like our Facebook and Google Plus groups and ways to help the show. Personally, I think visually it's a hot mess. I don't know how anybody finds anything on there. So I started working on a redesign, but I thought it might be a good idea to start getting some feedback first. I put up a very simple 5-question poll over on podfeed.com. I may ask more questions later, but I'm going to start out easy just to sucker you into giving your advice. I want to know what you do on the site, what you wish was easier, how you access it, like mobile or through a computer, which podcasts you listen to, and what you'd like to see improved. I pushed it out earlier in the week on social media, and as is usually the case with these things, it has turned out to be the comments that seem to matter the most when I'm reading them. The statistics are good because they're telling me kind of like what I should make sure is prioritized on the front page. So if you care a lot about what happens on podfeet.com, you should go over and take a look at that survey and give me your feedback. So I hope you go over and participate in the poll. And I did make sure it was the kind where you can see the results after you participate, which I think is way more fun. I hate it when I do a poll and it just goes, thank you. It's like, well, I want to see everybody's voting. That's the fun part. So anyway, stay tuned. I think things are going to get a lot more usable soon. Does annoying Allison count as a major use? Absolutely. You know what's funny? In a bunch of cases, I put an other section and I left it blank so people could write what other was. A bunch of people just clicked other. Other what? I must not have done it right because I can't believe that many people would have done it wrong. Let's see, Steve's pointing me somewhere. How about I show the chat room the picture? Oh, yeah, now would be a good time. Let's take a little break. I'm going to save. And Steve has something to present. You have to unmute and be paying attention, though. So he's muted, and he doesn't know I'm talking to him. He's not noticing.
I've been trying to get the link. Hold on. Okay, chat room. Check this out. Kevin?
No, bring it up on screen.
Oh,
I just made you sticky.
You made me sticky? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just show your screen. You hit the green arrow in the left side.
That means anything on my screen everyone will see. I have to now sanitize my screen.
Okay, well, go ahead and talk then.
Okay.
Say something.
So
Steve.
I just sent the link out for people to click to see.
Explain what it is.
I am. But you keep talking. You have to be quiet a little bit, okay? This is time for you not to talk. So right now what we have is that link, if you click, is Kevin's his recent award for being such a dedicated NosillaCast listener and a fantastic supporter. So Kevin was kind enough to take that photo for us and send it back. And I just want to thank him for his dedication over the years. Thank you, Kevin.
To Wingman Kevin.
To Wingman Kevin.
All right, raise your glasses to Wingman Kevin. Do you have a beer, Steve?
Yes.
He's not toasting you. I'm not sure he means it, Steve.
To Wingman Kevin.
To Wingman Kevin.
With a Australian cozy.
Well, that's from Rose.
Yes.
Except she left now. Yeah, isn't that cool? That was all Steve's idea. And because he's his wingman. I like
Good job,
it.
Kevin.
Okay, enough about Kevin.
No, it's never enough about Kevin.
He likes you better than he likes me anyway. All right. Activity tracking. Preview. Here we go. All right. Save. Poor Haley. You never know whether to be happy when you're here, Haley. I like your company, but I don't like the reasons why you can come. Are your ribs any better? I don't know if you guys, the rest of you guys in here knew this, but last time Haley was here, she was awake because she broke a couple of ribs coughing. So she was awake because she was in pain. So that's not good. But anyway, we take everybody. Oh, Sybil did find her way in here. Yes, there we go. Okay, here we go. Well, I entitled the next segment, Activity Tracking is Really Improved with watchOS 3 and iOS 10. but I'll leave it up to you whether all of these are improvements to you. One of the reasons that Fitbit has been so successful has been because of the ability to share your activity with your friends. Peer pressure or encouragement, whichever works for you, you get it from sharing exercise with your friends. When I left Fitbit for the Apple Watch, I really missed smack talking with my friends on Fitbit. Now with iOS 10 and watchOS 3, activity sharing has come to the Apple Watch. On the iPhone, in the Activity app, you can tap on the sharing button on the bottom. Next, you'll see a plus button in the upper right where you can add friends. It's going to ask your permission to start sharing your data with your friends. Now, it only lists those in your contacts who have an Apple Watch, who have agreed to do the activity sharing. If you try to add someone who has an iPhone but no Apple Watch, it'll tell you that you cannot share activity with them because they don't have an Apple Watch. That seems kind of short-sighted to me since many people track their activity with a phone. Maybe they'll fix that later. Anyway, sharing with someone causes several things. The coolest part is that in the sharing tab in the Activity app, you can see their active calories burned against their goals. The list isn't sorted by the most calories burned, it's by the percentage of each person's goal. I think that's actually a better way to do it. Otherwise, I'd have no friends at all. But it's good because it's like looking at your own PR, your own personal record. It's what's good for you. So it makes it a little more fun to share that way, I think, than if it was just top number of calories. You can change the sort from the default of active calories to by name, exercise, steps, or workout. Sharing even shows on the Apple Watch itself. If you tap on the Activity app on the watch, the default is to show you your own activity. But if you swipe to the left, you can actually see your friend's activity right there on your watch. If you press and hold, you can change the sort order there as well. You can tap on each person's name in your sharing list and see a full list of their exercise, stand, steps, distance, and workouts. I just hear people like Dorothy saying to themselves, well, that's just creepy. To that I say, one woman's creepy is another woman's awesome. There's another thing that comes along with sharing, and that's notifications. So let's say you're friends with me in sharing. I go to the beach and I start a workout of a third of a mile walk from the car to the beach. You see, we're cheap and we don't like to pay for the close parking when we're going down there to exercise anyway, so we walk a third of a mile. I finish that workout. I start a new one for my speed walk. That's another 3.63 miles to go up and back on the beach strand in 46 minutes. I stop that workout and I start another one to walk the third of a mile back to the car. I finish that workout, and then about 4 p.m, I take Tessa out for a walk, never less than a half an hour and often a full hour. That means in a single day, you're going to get 4 notifications from me on your Apple Watch. Well, here's the good news. In the sharing part of the activity on the iPhone, when you look at the details of someone's activity, if you scroll down, you can see an option to mute just that person's notifications. Today, when I got back from a 10-mile, wasn't today anymore. Save. Cut that right there, I think. Let's see, save. Did I miss anything? All right. Allison's activity is enough to make me out of breath. Melissa Davis in Facebook. One of the things I'm going to talk about if I ever get a chance to write up my thoughts about the new Apple Watch is the battery is insane. It's really, really good. And she said that maybe I'm actually a battery myself and I'm generating energy. So I've done over 650 calories today, 2 workouts, and I have 49% left on my watch at 5 o'clock. So this,
wow. And that's the 38 millimeter.
Yeah. What does yours say?
I'm at, let me see here, 44%. That's with 1 workout.
Yeah. Lazy. Oh, anyway. Okay, let me find out where I stopped. If you scroll down, you can see an option to mute just that person's notifications. Okay, let's see right there. Let's see. Earlier this week, when I got back from a 10-mile bike ride after 3 walking workouts this afternoon, Stephen Getz, Alistair Jenks, and Mark Pauly were all giving me a hard time about how many notifications they got. How long do you think it's going to be before they're going to mute me? I give them 2 days tops. Well, if you have a friend that's giving you a hard time about your activity level, maybe not being encouraging, you can actually choose to hide your activity from just that friend. And of course, there's also a button to remove that friend. I think Apple made some good choices when they gave us this granular level of control over our sharing preferences by person. The Apple Watch interface for workouts has been an adventure over time in swiping and tapping and swiping and long pressing and tapping yet again. Early on, it was really hard to remember what to do and even figure out what to do with it. And after the muscle memory kicked in, the Apple Watch seemed to become less responsive to my presses and taps and swipes. Steve said he was experiencing pretty much the same thing. Now, with watchOS 3, the entire interface has changed. Let me start with the best change. On watchOS 2, to finish a workout, you had to long press and hold, which would trigger a new screen with pause and stop as options. It would usually take 2 to 3 times to get this to work. With watchOS 3, you simply swipe from left to right, and there's the stop pause screen. One of the reasons they can do this is that they got rid of a whole lot of other swiping. With the old interface, you were often swiping and tapping to change what you saw on screen during a workout. So let's say the workout app was showing you your pace and your elapsed time, but you wanted heart rate. You'd have to give up one of those to switch it to heart rate. There were so many options, it was a normal practice to spend 30 seconds fiddling with it to get it right. The good news is that you only have 2 screens now, the workout screen and the finish pause screen. At first, I thought that the bad news was that you're locked into whatever Apple decides you want to see on your type of workout, the type of workout that you've chosen to do. For example, when you do an outdoor walk, you'll see elapsed time, speed and distance per hour, heart rate, and total distance. If you run, the speed is replaced with pace, as in minutes and seconds for a mile or kilometer. But if you walk, the pace is replaced with active calories. I think I wrote that wrong. That was supposed to be bike. Jeez, that's been wrong all this time, too. Dang it. I'm supposed to say bike. Hang on. I should make sure that this has the disclaimer in it. You know what? I don't know if it does. Hang on. This is going to be really important. I'm going to refresh here. Oh, John made it back in, huh? Okay,
yeah, he did. And it's Rose's birthday tomorrow.
Rose. Rose is back. Rose missed your toast.
Maybe we should replay that happy birthday song we sang.
Oh my God.
That was a few years back.
Okay, that was supposed to be if you walk.
Brett plugs ears, which is smart.
Oh yeah, it was nasty.
Let me see if I can find that link.
Oh, it's nasty. Cycle. Okay. Where's preview for that one? There we go. All right, let me list this here. If you run, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that's worth playing for people. That was just horrible. It was hilarious. We tried to sing Happy Birthday, and I seem to remember I had a little trouble with it. Okay, where'd that go?
A little?
Okay. When you do an outdoor cycle, for example, you'll see elapsed time, speed and distance per hour, heart rate, and total distance. Oh, no. I didn't cut that at the right place. You've chosen to do. For example, yeah, I thought so. Ha. That was almost really stupid. You're going to hear something twice. All right. For example, when you do an outdoor cycle, by default, you'll see elapsed time, speed and distance per hour, heart rate, and total distance. But if you run, the speed is replaced with pace, as in minutes and seconds for a mile or a kilometer. But if you walk, the pace is replaced with active calories. I was kind of bummed about that because on my speed walks, when I'm really pushing myself, I need to see that pace to see if I can break my personal record. So I don't have access to that when I'm walking. By the way, since you asked, that personal record was a 12-minute mile, also known as walking 5 miles per hour. In the last year since I started walking instead of running because of my stupid toe, I have never been passed by another walker, but I have passed 3 runners. Anyway, while I wished I had that pace on my walks, I happened to mention to Bart that I was really annoyed by this. And he and Giles Croft also mentioned this on Twitter. They explained to me that you can change the information you see in your workouts. I thought you couldn't do it. They instructed me to open the Apple Watch app on the iPhone, scroll down to workout, tap on workout view. Now with multiple metrics selected at the top, you can see all of the workout options below. You can see them for outdoor walk, indoor run, whatever. Anyway, tap on the one you want to modify. You'll see the list of metrics in the default at the top and do not include down below. Tap the edit button and add or delete at will. You can even change the order up and down. So now I have 0 to complain about on the new activity tracking options in iOS 10 and watchOS 3. But before the new operating systems, when you were done with the workout, you could see your split times when you looked in the activity app on iOS. Now with watchOS 3, they've added a feature to workouts. If you double tap the screen while you're working out, it registers what it calls a segment, and it puts a little number in a circle in the top left. So let's say you ride your bike 3 miles on flat ground, and then you're going to climb a huge hill for 2 miles, and then you get to go downhill all the way home. You could double tap at each major change and record them as segments. When you look at your activity on the iPhone after you get home, you'll be able to see your pace for each mile or kilometer if you're that persuasion, and you'll also see separately your segment distances, elapsed time, and average paces. After all this coolness, there's one more thing I wanted to tell you about. The first time you launch a workout app on the Apple Watch and watchOS 3, it will ask you if it's okay if it tracks your location during workouts. If you say yes, when you finish your workout and go into the activity app to look at it, at the very bottom of the details section below your split time and segment times, you'll see a route map. This is so cool. I'm afraid both Map My Walk and Map My Ride have been Sherlocked for me. I removed them from my phone. It's because that's the only thing I wanted out of those apps. I wanted to see my route. The route map on iOS 3 shows you your pace in green, yellow, and red segments along the path. Now, I'm not sure what they used to define those colors, though, because while my cycle the other day had a lot of green segments, my outdoor walk was yellow, orange, and a bit of red. I'd like to take that engineer and UI designer that worked on this feature, I'd like to take them on my outdoor walk and see if they think 5-mile-per-hour walks are only yellow. Anyway, I only have one real problem with the workout app on the new watchOS 3. In order to make this review interesting and to help myself remember what the watch was doing, I needed to take screenshots. On watchOS 2, you did this by holding down the 2 physical buttons at the same time. That didn't work on the new OS. Luckily, my daughter Lindsay is a geek too, and she told me that you had to turn that feature on because evidently people were taking screenshots accidentally with their watches. I think if you wear your watch up high, like really close to your hand, and you bend your wrist, it could take a screenshot accidentally. Anyway, she explained that all I had to do was open the Apple Watch app on the iPhone, go to My Watch, General, and scroll all the way to the bottom and then toggle the slider to enable screenshots. But that's not the problem I'm upset about with the workout app. The problem is that I found out the hard way that if you take a screen snapshot during a workout on the Apple Watch, it actually pauses the workout. I lost 10 precious minutes of my speed walk because of that. I hope you realize the sacrifices I make for you people. Overall, I think the updates to the activity features on the Apple Watch and the iPhone are fantastic.
We might have a correction.
What?
You may have said iOS 3 instead of watchOS 3.
Okay.
I think Kevin heard that.
I don't know where that would be. If you'll tell me when I said it, what I was saying at the time.
The past 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Want me to just sit here and listen to it?
Nah, I'd let it go.
Or we'll let this one go.
Just let it go.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that a good idea? I saw a typo, but I have no idea what it was.
Someone asked, I just wanted to confirm, the features you're talking about are not the Apple Watch Series 2 dependent. It works with
That's correct.
watchOS 3 on any Apple Watch.
Yeah, they're...
Oh, Nick caught it.
Nick caught it. Okay, Nick, what was I saying? I didn't even know Nick was here. What was... do you remember what I was saying when I said iOS 3? Actually, I was reading. Maybe I can find it in here. If I wrote iOS 3, that would be interesting. Let me see. iOS 3. No? I'm reading this, so the chances of me doing that, usually it's I make a mistake and I read the mistake without noticing.
So could you look in the text?
I just did, and I didn't type iOS 3.
All right.
iOS 3. I'm not saying I didn't, but it's less likely. Okay. Who was asking about whether this had to do with the new watch? Or were you just saying
let's see. Let me find that.
Interesting. Brett has so many accidental watch screenshots. So this is just like when Apple took away my precious caps lock key because all the rest of you guys kept hitting it and leaving it on accidentally. I know how to use my caps lock key. I know how to use my screen snapshots, and I have to lose it just for you people.
Mark was asking that.
Okay, Mark. Okay. Anyone listening will understand the context. Next sausage. All right. Let's see. Well, Mark Pauly in the live chat room asked a good question. He wanted me to explain that these changes that I just talked about, these have nothing to do with the new phone and the new watch. You get all of this with iOS 10 and watchOS 3 as they were pushed out to the existing devices. So they really have done a really good job with these updates. I'm extremely impressed with the changes that they've made and how much better this works. I mean, it really, I think the watch is so much more useful now that they've come out with watchOS 3. All right, how's that?
Good job.
Oh, thank you, dear. Not worst. All right. Okay. Let's see. Next is. That's not it. Okay. It's time to talk about Patreon. Patreon. Let's see. 594. 3. Where's 593? You're here. 593. Preview. All right. I didn't go into podcasting to make money, but I also didn't go into to lose money either. I'd like to break even on it, maybe make enough money to buy more gadgets to review for you guys. To this end, I've decided to start using Patreon to give you guys an easy way to support the show. Patreon lets you pledge a weekly amount so that you only get billed if the podcaster actually produces a show. Well, in the case of my show, that's a guarantee since we haven't missed a show in over 10 years. If you head over to podfeed.com/Patreon, you give them your credit card and then choose how much you want to pledge to keep the show afloat. You can do $1 or a quarter or $1,000 a show if you want, whatever you think it's worth. If you can't afford it, though, please do not donate. I'm serious about this. It's just if you think you could spare some money to help us out here, and, that would really be great. I would like to give a shout out to our newest patrons this week. We've got Chad and let's see, I think it was WHK and Bob and Rob and Christopher and Tom. I can't thank all of you enough for helping the show like this. You guys are awesome. All right, let's get back to some geek fun. I said, was it WHK, Steve? I had a,
yes,
it auto-corrected.
No, that is correct.
It auto-corrected to who?
No, it's Wuk.
Wuk? W-H-K.
I don't think it's pronounceable unless it's Klingon.
Okay, stop changing it to who.
What?
Okay. It's changing it to who every time. Okay, first few days with the iPhone. There we go. Hey, Steve, you can track the kids on Find Friends.
I can.
It was funny. I was listening to Rod Simmons talk about this really cool app he got where he can he and his family members can see where they are on the phones and stuff. Built into iOS. Yeah. Do you guys know you can use Find My iPhone on iCloud.com to find your watch? I did it today because I was looking for the second watch because I wanted to do some comparison photos of how it looked in daylight, and I couldn't figure out where it was, and it was inside my purse. That was fun. The hardest part for me is we have so many devices and they're all at home, is I kept expanding out in the map and it's just like covered with dots. It's like, here's Steve's phone, my watch, my other watch, Steve's phone, Steve's watch, my second phone, my iPads, my Macs. It was pretty funny. Oh, good. Haley, go to sleep. Sleep well. All right. Where's Kyle? Is he there yet?
He is on the 110.
Oh, so he's getting close to her house then.
Yep.
Good. Okay. Right. Here we go. One of the hard things about reviewing gadgets is to remember to use the words "for me" and "I feel" and not make categorical judgments about these things. I hear a lot of male podcasters who talk about gadgets from their own point of view, but they don't take into account that another gender might have a different perspective. If I hear one more time, "well, it has to fit in a pocket," I'm going to scream. You wouldn't think much of me as a reviewer if I said, "if it fits in a purse, it's perfect for everyone," right? Men are more likely to have pockets. Men are more likely to have big pockets. Women are more likely to have small or no pockets. And women are more likely to carry a purse. I make no value judgment on this. I'm just stating facts. With that in mind, I started thinking about going up in size from the iPhone 6 to the 7 Plus well before it was officially announced. My pants and shorts simply don't have pockets suitable for carrying any size of phone, but I do always carry my purse. Now, I carry a really tiny little purse, but there isn't a mobile phone made today that wouldn't fit in it. Even those waffle-sized phones are still thin, and they fit in anything bigger than the very smallest clutch. So maybe a plus-sized iPhone would be right for me. See what I did there? For me. When the iPhone Plus was finally announced with those dual camera lenses, I was sold beyond any doubt that I wanted to go up. Now, it's going to kill me, but I'm going to save these camera discussions for another time and focus on the other features first. But the dual cameras were definitely important in helping me be sure I wanted to go for the Plus. Now that I have it in my hot little hands, I have to say that it took me no time at all to get used to the giant size of the 7 Plus. I immediately loved it. It doesn't feel huge to me at all. It feels just right. Now, since I'm 58 years old, even with progressive lenses, a bigger display is almost always better for me. With the plus-sized iPhone, I get the same number of icons on the home screen. They're just bigger and easier to see. But in other applications, you can actually get more on screen. Since many apps allow us to control the font size to our own desires, wish they all did. Anyway, you can make the phone go either way for you and your eyes. If you've got great eyes, man, you shrink that stuff down, get a lot on screen, but I don't have to do it. One thing I was looking forward to was being able to zoom things up bigger in web pages, and the 7 Plus does not disappoint in that. I'm a big fan of AppleCare Plus for the iPhones, especially because my family is prone to dropping their phones. In past years, even with AppleCare, the screen replacement was $79 for the smaller phone and $99 for the Plus. Well, Apple just recently changed their offering. It's now only $29 to replace a cracked screen under AppleCare Plus. Regardless of the size of the phone, it doesn't matter. It's always $29. This makes me wonder, maybe they're less likely to crack. Why would Apple reduce that price so much unless it is because they're less likely to crack? Wouldn't that be lovely if that's true? I'm making that up, by the way, but I just think it's a possibility. So this not only makes AppleCare Plus a more compelling offering, I started thinking maybe I don't have to protect my phone like an armored vehicle. For the first few days, I've been using the phone in its naked form, and it's a joy to hold. That is, until I try to type with both thumbs. The phone feels top-heavy like that, and since it's slippery, it's kind of hard to use that way for typing. Since I'm not that great of a two-thumb typist anyway, I tried holding it in one hand and typing with my forefinger, and that worked really well for me. Pat Nagler picked me up a pretty cool case from Tech21 that I might end up using, though. It has a nice rubber bumper that feels pretty good, and the back is a clear plastic with a kind of golf ball-like indented back that shows off the lovely gold of my new phone. It's called the Evo Mesh, and she found it at Apple for $40. It looks great, but the jury is still out on whether I'm going to use it or not. I'd love to have the nerve to keep going with a naked phone, but I'm not sure. I may flinch. As you've probably heard, Apple took out the physical home button and replaced it with a haptic feedback button provided by their proprietary Taptic engine. I'm a huge fan of the Magic Trackpad Apple introduced about a year ago in the MacBook and with the standalone trackpad. Mumbled that up. BGR says Gorilla Glass 5. Is it? As you've probably heard. Yeah, let me start there. That'd be a good spot. So it's Gorilla Glass. I wonder if it really is better. That would be swell. It's still a pain to go get it fixed. But as you've probably heard, Apple took out the physical home button and replaced it with a haptic feedback button provided by their proprietary Taptic engine. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Magic Trackpad Apple introduced about a year ago in the MacBook and the standalone trackpad with the same technology. So I was really looking forward to this new home button on the iPhone. That physical home button was problematic for a lot of people. A lot of people had to have it replaced as it becomes non-responsive over time. As a mechanical engineer, it pains me to point out that the fewer moving parts you have, the fewer failures you're going to have from repeated usage. When you first start using the phone with this haptic feedback, you're given a little screen where you can choose how hard you have to press to engage the home button. Personally, I hate clicking hard on things. On the old MacBooks and MacBook Pros without this kind of fake touch, I always immediately turned on the ability to tap instead of click on the trackpad. But with the Taptic engine, I find myself very pleased with the light click of the Magic Trackpad. On the iPhone 7 Plus, I found that the lightest touch to the Taptic home button is the most pleasing to me. It seems that lately Apple is all about customization now, so you get to pick what feels right for you. Unless you want a headphone jack, of course, but let's not go down that road, okay? With the non-mechanical home button come some weird changes. I wanted to do a hard reboot on my phone, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. On older phones, you hold down the power button and the home button at the same time, and you get a power down slider. When I tried that on the iPhone 7 Plus, it kept taking screenshots instead. Normally, a single click of these two buttons does the screen snapshot, but for the life of me, I couldn't get it to shut down no matter how long I held it. It just kept taking screenshots. I eventually discovered an article on the Mac Observer where Jeff Gamet credited Victor Cajiao for figuring out how to reboot these phones. With the new home button, full power down is the power button plus the down volume button. I never would have thought of that on my own. By the way, I never get a slider either. It just kind of turns gray, flickers, and disappears. I don't think that's on purpose. I think there's something a little glitchy there. Well, I mentioned accidentally taking screenshots when I was trying to do that, but at the same time, I'm finding it harder to take them on purpose. It messed up so many times during a FaceTime call with Lindsay, where she was letting me talk to our grandson Forbes, that she mocked my technical skills. Man, daughters really know how to hit their mothers in their soft spots, don't they? That was terrible. Well, the speed of the 7 Plus is amazing. I put my iPhone 6 and 7 Plus side by side, and I launched a bunch of applications and moved around in them. And in every single case, the 7 was way, way, way faster. I mean, countable seconds faster. But then I had a thought. I borrowed Steve's iPhone, which is a 6S, and the 7 and 6S performed almost exactly the same. In some apps, they launch faster on the 7, but in some, the 6S was faster. In every case, though, it was differences of less than a second. Now, it's important to note that my 6 and 7 Plus were both running iOS 10.0.1, and the 7 Plus was restored from a backup of the 6, so they should have been the same. It is entirely possible, though, that some sort of cruft got left out when the restore from backup took place, and that's why the 7 Plus is so darn much faster. As of the time I'm telling you this, I'm doing a full reset of the iPhone 6, and I'm restoring it from the iCloud backup of the iPhone 7. I'm going to rerun my tests, and I'll be sure to let you know what I find. If I find that the 6 got a lot faster, that's a little hint. If you think your iPhone's getting slow, back it up and restore it back from its own backup. Although the iPhone 7 Plus costs a grip, as the SMR podcast boys would say, Steve gets mad at me every time I call them boys. They call themselves boys, but I even wrote guys and my brain said boys.
Would you like it if we called you girls?
No, I yell at you when you say that.
Exactly.
iPhone's getting slow. Back it up and restore it back from its own backup. Okay, fine. Although the 7 Plus costs a grip, as the SMR podcast guys would say, I have no regrets. The price was $869 for the 128 gigabyte AT&T model, unlocked. That's before tax and Apple Care. But as always, remember with Apple products that they retain an amazing amount of resale value. As soon as I'm done with my tests, I'll be delivering this pristine phone in its original box to a happy friend of mine for the price of $300. I could have gotten a little bit more, maybe $360, $370 is what they're selling for on eBay right now, but I find that procrastinating on selling is a road to never selling at all. Compare this to the $200 that Gazelle is offering for this phone in flawless condition, and that $300 doesn't sound so bad. It also does a great deal for my friend, as Gazelle sells the same phone for $400. I brokered this deal through my friend Diane, and I demanded that she cook me something grown on her farm, like maybe that amazing zucchini bread she makes. Now, how good of a deal do you think I got? Well, I'll get back to you on the iPhone 6 comparison test after the reset from backups is complete. In any case, if you're a girl with a purse or a guy with big dad pockets or secure enough in your masculinity to carry a purse like my brother does, then I can highly recommend you get the iPhone 7 Plus. And that's before I even tell you how wicked awesome the dual cameras are. Spoiler alert. Almost done. When we're done, I can show you some of the photo stuff. Steven isn't here, is he? I've got a couple shots where I can look at the noise. Hey, Steve, since I waited, we can do some nighttime shooting tonight.
Yeah, yes, we need to do that. In fact, Rose was saying she would like the form factor of the SE, but wants that low light performance from the camera.
Yeah,
so I don't know what she's going to do.
Yeah, I don't know if you're ever going to see that. That's a lot of processing for that little box. They could probably do it if they gave you a 2-hour battery life. Where am I? That's where I am. All right. I think that's it, right? Yes. All right. Security Bits music. Jingles.
Who chose that music?
I found it online. It's from this. Last time I said this, I talked about it. You said, no, that was from GarageBand or something like that. Some silly. Some chit chat. So Bart's going to tell you about. Oh, where is chit chat? Oh, didn't move it. See, this is really Security Bits. And here, and I love. Do you guys use uh-oh. Where did I just put it? Did I put it in the right place? I don't know where I put it. I just moved it in the wrong place. Okay, you go there. And then you go here. Do you guys use Hazel? I am just in love with what Hazel does for me now. I use Hazel to clean up the audio files. So I used to run out of disk space all the time. And it would be because I had saved all these audio files because I make like 4 gig of files a week. And I finally just set up Hazel to say when something's 2 weeks old, just put it over on the Drobo and I don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's cool. Did you show Rose your beer that you showed everybody when she wasn't here?
Oh, she wasn't here for that?
Mm-mm. She was here and then she left and she was gone right when you did the toast to Kevin.
It's already gone.
She probably didn't even see Kevin say, wait, what's gone?
My beer. I've already moved it.
You moved it?
It's gone.
Okay. Where did you put it?
Downstairs. I can go get it. I've been checking on things.
You've been checking on
the rice and stuff.
Like on the rice? Okay.
It's cooking away.
Are you on a Shardy? She'd probably like that even better.
No, but I could be.
All right, what's going on here? I want to move you up. Come on. Nope, not you. Come on. I'm worried about Dan. We abandoned Dan used Dan DA3 Vets or whatever his name is. He always used the app. and he doesn't know, and I can't remember his Twitter name. Actually, you have a little spreadsheet on that, don't you? Bart's going to tell us about the what to think about Dropbox. If you've been hearing the big kerfuffle on that,
I've been monitoring the old chat room, and I haven't seen him.
Okay, so. Yeah, he wasn't here last week either. I don't. Oh, you know what? I could ask Nuris how he's doing.
Are you going to give the folks in the chat room maybe a kind of the bottom line on the Dropbox kerfluffle?
Kerfluffle?
Kerfuffle?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. That's the bottom line.
No action required on the NosillaCast listeners' part?
Nah?
No,
that's it. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
All right.
Don't lose any sleep over it. Don't change you don't need to do anything about it. It's fine. It's
I'm sure George will have other things to say about
it. Well, once he hears this explanation, I think he'll understand. They aren't leaving any passwords in the clear anywhere, and they're not saving your root password like the guy who broke the story said they were. It's not true. So
a little misreporting.
Yeah. Oh, Denise did lose sleep. What's this in here? Dual cameras are. Spoiler alert. That was a little close, wasn't it? Dual cameras are. Spoiler alert. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Security Bits with Bart Busschots. We have some big stuff this week, don't we, Bart?
Plenty to talk about as usual, yeah. Slightly fewer in number, but plenty to talk about all the same. I was happy on Thursday when
All right. I love how good Bart's audio is now with his... He got new bandwidth a while ago, and it's just like, it's awesome. Awesome. Don't you think? Didn't you think it sounded lovely?
Yes. Sounded perfect.
Yes. All right. How close are the kids?
Let me do an update.
All right. Change them all the time. Database did have a hack of passwords and IDs. Yeah, that was if you hadn't changed your password in a very long time, though, George. That wasn't if you had a recent password, so not bad to change it, though. You're right. Change it in 1Password.
I'd say less than a half hour.
Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. Well, after I got off the call with Bart, I decided to try and track down what insecure scripts were running on the podfeed.com homepage that were giving the Danger Will Robinson message about security. I figured it out. Guess what it was? It was the Google search box. The irony of that does not escape me. I added the S to HTTPS in the script call, and Bob's Your Uncle, podfeed.com, now gets a generic response from Google. Couldn't have made me happier. And let's also remember I said that on the live page, the YouTube thing wasn't working until we added a yes to that. It wasn't showing up on the secure page. I'm pretty sure YouTube comes from Google too. Now, it's important because Google is the one that is pushing everybody to go HTTPS. You would think that a YouTube live video would have an S on it if they wanted us to be doing all the security stuff. Anyway, that made me laugh. Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Don't forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, and suggestions by emailing me at allison@podfeed.com. Follow me on Twitter @podfeed. Now remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com/. So there's podfeed.com/Patreon, podfeed.com/Facebook, podfeed.com/Google+, podfeed.com/Amazon. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, where do you think you go? You head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCast castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. So I probably should have said something in the show about the movement of the chat room, huh?
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Oh, maybe next week.
And stay secure.
Well, after I got... All right, let me go back to the beginning. Let's go. My minus. There we go. Okay, where are we? Take this outro and we shove it way out here. What?
George just put in the link. Podfeed.com/George is great.
I can do that. Where do you want it to redirect to?
Yeah, right.
You just got to tell me where it should go, because I can do anything. I can make it say go to anywhere I want. Podfeed.com/great. Go to Google if you want. Live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. All right, we are a wrap with that. I want to show you. Should I show you? No, maybe I don't have time. Let me start this because I've got to soundbots document to new file. The video reset it back to the start. I could not forward to the current time. I now have checked on my iPhone, a video on YouTube on my iPad.
How is Sybil watching this? Where is she going to see the video?
Well, she says she's checked on the iPhone and video on YouTube app on my iPad.
Oh, on the app.
Well, no,
Wait,
YouTube
the app
app.
doesn't support YouTube app.
Yeah.
Well, I could. Yeah, it's too late now. We're just about done.
What was it you could do?
You know what I could start doing is putting the link to the YouTube video in the topics list in the top of the chat.
Would that help you guys?
Well, I think it would. It would send them right to the YouTube link. They wouldn't have to necessarily go through podfeed.com.
You can click a link in the message of the day.
If not, okay, let's try it.
Try it. Let's see if people can get to it.
Let me get the link.
Okay, I could be doing this. We're doing that. What was I going to show you? First I was going to show you the photos, but I don't think we have time because I have to do some jiggery pokery to get that started. But here, George, you peaked. Dan is 60 miles from Toronto. Huh. Well, my Antec Smart Bean finally gave up the ghost. Well, only gave up half the ghost. I lost one channel on it. So I've used it for 2 hours a day for how long? Ever since I've been yapping about it.
Yeah, the link is hot in the title of the chat room.
Let's see. So try that, Sybil. What happens? Ooh, this one's all white.
Oh, you found it?
No, yeah, I had a spare one. Yeah, I'd cleaned up my look how clean it is back there. I'd cleaned that all up and it perfect. So there haven't been any pets.
Terry just joined us. Hey, Terry.
Terry. So it's an hour off. Yeah, see, the clock isn't there. Ada's a kleptomaniac. Steve found this downstairs.
That's right.
Ada took that from my jewelry.
I think she's smart. She's going for the expensive stuff. None of those cat toys.
Actually, it wasn't that expensive. I got that from a friend of mine. Hi, Tesla.
T-Dog.
One of my Denise, as a patron, demanded that there always be animals in the video. Tesla, come here. Come talk to everybody. Everybody likes you to say hi. Come here. Well, now they can't see you down there. Here. Oh. There you go. Hi, Tesla. She's such a sweetheart. No cats, though. They're mad at me because I gave flea medicine today. All right. There was something brilliant I was going to show you. Did you guys look at the poll results? Hey, go vote on that poll, would you? Go there. Push the button. All right. Maybe that was it. I don't remember. I should get going, though, I think. Snoozing puppy.
We should get going, I think.
All right. It's time to go. Thank you very much for coming. Love you all. We will see you again next week. Oh, next week is going to be challenging. We're going to be in San Diego at a hotel. I'm going to try to do it live. Steve, I'm going to bring that external monitor that's in the other room that's hooked up to the Kangaroo PC. I'm going to see if I can do the show live.
I forget what kind of bandwidth we got there.
We haven't ever been at this new hotel. We're at the Staybridge Suites. We're going to find out. Might be audio only. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. See you soon. Bye. Hanging up.